Hey beauties, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. You're welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Winnie. In today's video, we are going to be learning how to make this beautiful handkerchief skirt with a side pleat. Actually, I made mine into a gown, but I'm only going to be working on the skirt part on this video. So if this is what you would like to learn, definitely keep on watching, like my videos, share with your family and friends, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out anytime I upload a new tutorial. Without too much talking, let's get to the honey of the video.
Love you. Hey beauty, welcome to my channel.
To start, you are going to first be needing to draft a normal skirt pattern, and I have not drafted mine down. So if you don't know how to draft a normal straight skirt pattern, I'm going to be doing it very quickly right now. I folded my fabric into two, and then I used my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches to fold this paper, now not fabric, sorry. And then after that, I measured the length of my skirt, but because I was making this into a gown, I removed the half length of 16 inches upwards, and then I went ahead to mark the full length that I wanted, and then I am going to be drawing that into a straight line for the down part of the skirt. So once that is done, the next thing to do is to work on my waist, but I'm first going to cut the full length just to make sure that everything is straight. And then now I'm going to be working on the waistline. So I'll move to the upper part and measure out my waistline divided by 4 plus 2 inches. So I'm going to measure out my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. I'm going to mark that out, and then from that point I'm going to mark where the hip line is, and then I'm going to also mark my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. I'm going to also mark that with a point, and whatever I have on the hip, I'll just deduct 1 inch from that, and that is what will be on the down part. So once that was done, I used my pattern master to create my curve. So I was just using my free hand to draw the straight line all the way to the down part here, and that is basically it. That is how to draft a basic skirt pattern. All right, so now I'm cutting it out now, and then I am going to be working on the handkerchief skirt proper. So what I'm going to do is that from this side, I'm going to mark about 5 inches downwards and mark it, and then on the down part towards the folded edge, I'm also going to mark about 4 inches inwards. So I'm just going to connect that with a curve. You know the way we make a princess curve, that is how we are going to be making this curve. So the way we make a princess curve, that is how we are just going to be connecting this curve. All right, so now I'm going to be connecting the curve like that, and then we are going to be cutting it out. Remember that we've already added all our allowances on paper, so we don't need to add any more allowance to this pattern. It already has enough, more than enough allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do, this cutout, you don't need it anymore, but you are going to measure the length of the cutout. So whatever you have at the length, you are just going to jot it down on the main pattern paper, so that by the time you are working on it, you are going to remember what you used. So once this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric into two, and then I am going to place the pattern on it. I'm cutting the front pattern first. This fabric is not rumpled, it's a sun ray kind of fabric, and it doesn't iron smoothly. So this is how it's going to be. It's a sun ray fabric, and it's going to be like this. It's not going to be straightened, so that's why the fabric is like this. All right, so once that was done, so I just placed my pattern on it to cut the front piece. I placed my pattern on it and make sure that everything was well aligned, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out for the front piece. So I'm cutting out the front piece now, I'm cutting it out now, and the next thing after this is to cut out the back. So if you are coming to my channel for the first time, if you are just seeing my face, you're welcome to the channel of beautiful people. On here we do everything DIY about sewing, garment making, and everything related to garment making. We do it on here on this channel. So if this is what you will love, definitely join us, and please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out anytime I upload a new tutorial. Thank you. So this is the back. I already marked out the zip allowance at the edge of the fabric, and then I am just cutting the remaining part of the fabric, just like that. So once we are done cutting, and then I'm going to open up the zip side, all right, because we are going to be adding a zipper to this. So I'm going to open this place up, and then we are going to continue sewing our fabric. So now the next thing I'm going to do is that this zip allowance side, I'm just trying to hold it down with pins so that I can understand what I am doing better, and it can be easy for me to work with. So I've already chalked everything down. I used about 1 inch all the way down because I don't have a lining on this, so I went ahead to pin everything down. So what I did was I marked where my zip allowance is going to stop, so I sewed the rest of the part down on a straight line, which I've already done. Then after that, I brought out my front piece, placed it right side facing right side, and then I'm going to sew the sides just as I've shown you. So I've gone ahead to sew the sides, and this is what it's looking like right now. So the next thing to do is to measure whatever you have here. You are going to measure it, and you can then multiply that by 2 just to determine the number of fabric to cut. So I folded my fabric into 4 just to make it easy for me to cut, and so that you can see it, because if I cut a very long fabric like that, you might not be able to see what I am cutting. All right, so I just decided to fold it into 4 like this, and then I'm going to mark out the length of the fabric, the one that we measured earlier. We are going to mark it out, the length, and then the width of the fabric. We're also going to measure mark out what we measured. So me folding this fabric into 4 like this, and cutting it makes it easier for me to cut, and then it helps me to cut it very easily, as opposed to putting it straight like that and cutting a very long fabric. So the measurement I have here will suffice for what I want to do. All right, so I'm just trimming the upper part now. I'm trimming it up, and then I've already marked out the length here. So the length was what we measured earlier on that paper that we're supposed to cut away. So that's the length. So I've marked it out here, and then I've cut it out into a very long piece. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my main pattern or fabric. I'm going to measure about 14 or 15 inches, but for this I used about 18 inches upwards, and then I'm going to notch. So I'm going to measure that on the other side. I would advise I use about 15 inches upwards, so use about 15 inches upward and notch. So the reason why we are placing the notch is that we are first going to start sewing on a straight line, so we'll sew it straight. So when we get to the notched part, that's where the pleat is going to start. See the way I did it now. So I first sewed it straight here. Take a look. I sewed it straight here. So when I now got to the notched part, I now started, this is the notch part, so I now started pleating it all the way to the second notch part, and then I went ahead to sew it straight again. So that is how you are going to do it, and that is how you are also going to do the other side too. You first sew it straight. When you get to the notched part, pleat it, and then pleat from one notch part to the other and then sew the other part straight. So that was it, and we are done with the skirt. So go ahead and hem the down part of the skirt just like this, just like we normally hem our handkerchief skirt. And this was the final look. It looked really beautiful. Even though I made this into a gown, you can also make yours into a gown. You just have to join the upper part, or if you are making a skirt, all you need to do is to make a band and join it. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comment section, because I always love to hear from you, and I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a like, and of course share it with your family and friends. You can as well watch my other videos to keep yourself up to speed with what we've done on this channel. Till I see you in my next video, I want you to know that I love you and I care. Bye.